Alright, after 2 weeks of house repairs and cleaning, I'm finally back to making Witcher videos.
Hello world, I'm back.
What I have for you today is something small about Hjalmar that I've never covered before. A brief event at Kaer Trolda involving the Vildkaarls. I bet that word means wild somethings in one of our languages. Perhaps you'll tell me down in the comments. Now, the whole thing takes place immediately after you arrive at the coronation feast in Skellige, which in turn becomes available after you complete both Hjalmar and Ceres's personal quests. So you meet the traitor, spoiler alert I guess, you witness a brief argument between the siblings,
Want your mug smacked?
and then you have to stick around right where you are pretty much, until Hjalmar starts fighting one of the Vildkaarls, and then you'll have to interrupt them. This will trigger the brief event where you get to fistfight them and place a bet with Hjalmar about the outcome of the duel. Here's how it begins.
Hjalmar, can you?
Oh, seal shit! Take a look. Still got all my teeth?
Most of them did quite a number on you.
Why are you laughing? They'd have trashed you too.
Doubt it.
That's so. Care to wager on it? Drop any one of the Vildkaarls and I'll give you my sword. End up like me, you part with yours.
Vildkaarls, who are they?
These wild men. Live in the hills.
Shepherds then?
Aye, without the sheep. They live off killing, eat only what they hunt, and they fight like no one else.
You're on. Start wrapping that sword for me.
Don't sell your fish till they're in the boat, Wolf.
Heard you're taking on challengers in fistfights.
Challengers? Ah, nay. Ain't none a challenge to us.
We're here to hit. Hit till our fists are red with blood.
Let's do this.
Gladly.
Okay, here's the first outcome where you win and take Hjalmar's sword.
Too late to surrender.
You heck good. Hard.
Oh, what a fight. Smacked his gob so hard it's a wonder his brain didn't fly out of his ears. Well, lost the wager. But that were such a spectacle, I don't even mind. Here, may it serve you well.
And if you lose, you have to part with your own steel weapon.
Bugger off. Oh, Witcher, eh? You fight more like a little bitch. Get out of my sight, Drifter.
Not so tough without your blade. Which is too bad, because you just lost it.
Well, he demands a sword, but you can actually give him a shovel or an axe, whatever you happen to wear at that point.
Here, may it serve you well.
Ha! Can't wait to test a Witcher's blade in battle.
Alternatively, you can keep your weapon in exchange for a small sum of 350 crowns.
Listen, how about I give you the equivalent in coin instead of my sword? After all, can't really earn a living without it.
Shouldn't have bet it then. But, fine. Owe you that much for old time's sake. Pay up and keep it.
Which means that Ciri costs about as much as 5 shovels.
Geralt?
Then?
Now, after this event, you would normally proceed to talk with Krach, where he will actually gift you a steel sword, in case you lost your first one.
Promised me a reward for helping your children.
And I aim to keep my word. Here, this bauble's been in the family for generations. I give it to you for helping ensure the line endures.
But you can actually engage in a small tournament with the Vildkaarls, where if you win against the first, you'll get to fight the second and finally the third of them. Here's how the fights go.
How long you gonna make me wait?
Tear him apart! You hit good. Hard.
Just warming up. Well, what are you waiting for? Go call the next one.
I need your heart! You'd never have beat me if I weren't 5 tankards in.
Then bring on someone sober. Think you can find one?
I can. Night's still young.
Slit your gut. Stop playing with him! You fight good for a continental.
And here's what happens if you lose every fight.
Just warming up. Well, what are you waiting for? Go call the next one.
Coming to get ya. Kill, maim, destroy! You fell so quick I didn't even have the time to warm up.
Go, for I squeeze you between my fingers like a tick.
Actually, if you lose against any of them, you can always restart from the first.
Fight or get out of my sight, foreigner.
Let's do this.
Gladly.
Now the next thing I thought about was what happens to Hjalmar's weapon in the fight against the Berserkers, only moments later. It turns out that he's actually using a spear, regardless of the outcome of your bet. But then, in the cutscene afterwards, he still has his own sword on his belt, even if I took it from him earlier. But, upon closer inspection, it turns out that the sword he gives me if I win is not his actual sword. It has a different pommel and whatnot. For a moment, I even considered the possibility that he gave me the sword which he took from the dead body of his friend. You know, back when we fought the giant?
What? Nah, he's just unconscious. Lost a bit of blood, you know.
He's dead. Trust me.
Swore he'd sink his blade into the giant's heart. Swore it on the bones of his ancestors.
It looks kind of similar, but it's still not the same. So I wonder where this sword came from. If any of you has seen it anywhere, please let me know. Finally, it's worth mentioning that he still uses his own sword during both his coronation as well as the Battle of Kaer Morhen.
Skellige gets colder than that.
And this is even if you won the bet. Although during the briefing at Kaer Morhen, he's actually carrying a two-handed axe.
Grand those swords, but I prefer me trusty axe.
Right, I think that's all I had for you. Let me know if you too have stumbled upon this event and perhaps ended up losing your sword, or at least a bit of crowns. And finally, thank you very much for watching and for all of your comments on my latest community posts about the baby and the house. It felt wonderful reading them. Also, special thanks to my supporters on the YouTube membership as well as Patreon, and until the next video, stay tuned and be good.